I am Sarabeth. I run revenue operations for Camunda, and I've been in this role in a couple of different SaaS tech companies, but prior to this I was a little more opportunistic in my approach. I found sales ops many years ago, fell in love, went and did a few other things, and then came back to RevOps when it became more of a function. Camunda is a process orchestration platform. We've created the category. So we are the category leaders of process orchestration. So what that means in layman's terms is we can automate pretty much any process across any endpoint. So it could be human, could be other like RPAs, organization-wide, typically customer-facing processes is what our sweet spot. I think that one of the most impactful aspects of DealHub, because the CPQ, there's obviously many different choices out there. I think DealHub rises to the top of that list because of the subscription management capabilities that exist. What's interesting is that when I first went into Camunda and I found out we had DealHub, I had just signed a contract with DealHub at my former employer, and we hadn't even started implementing that. So it was great to go into my new company and know that we were able to leverage the technology. But I was very disheartened to learn that we were not using the subscription management functionality, which to me was kind of the special sauce of the solution. And so we're actively working on that implementation right now. But in terms of even without it, it is the foundation of our deal desk team. Our deal desk team was effectively built around DealHub. And our deal desk team started with one person. We now have, we're hiring our fifth person on the team. And part of that is because the tool has made it super easy for them to interface with our reps and our customer success managers to get order forms done, to make sure the pricing is there. We have to get a little creative in our pricing situations, and so they've become very adept at that, and DealHub supports all of that process. The number of transactions that we can manage has greatly increased. I don't have a percentage on basis, but I can. But just the streamlined process that we're able to implement and have, take a lot of the manual burden off of reps in that process, because we need our reps out in the field and we need them closing deals. We don't need them being internally facing and trying to get through manual process or creating things that sales reps can get creative creating. So this streamlines all of it, gives us a very simple form that we can use. We're consistently evolving our order forms and how that works, and how we use them for renewals. We just completely redid that process at the end of last year, and launched some new functionality and some new streamlining abilities in creating when we go from a new logo and the creation of our renewal ops. So it's just a consistent, we're always looking for ways to improve the process to make it even more effective for our people in the field. 100%. Yes. One of the things that is probably our most used and favorite functionality are the deal rooms and the proposals that we can create. And it's actually, we're just starting to get traction with our reps to use them because they're so beautiful. And that gives confidence, right? When you have the ability to create something, an asset, an order form with pricing that is accurate, and in a way that's packaged really nicely that you can just send to a customer, they can open it and have this experience. And the consistency in that experience is something that we want to carry through, obviously, through their whole lifetime with us, kind of their whole journey. And so it kind of really starts there. It obviously starts earlier than that, but this is where we're trying to make it official and bring them on board. And so it gives us the ability to be put together, know our stuff. But the functionality on the flip side of it too is with our deal desk team, they know exactly what needs to happen, what needs to come out, and they often take a lot of the burden off of our reps. So DealHub is, like I said before, super critical for our deal desk team to support the field. I mean, we have our approval workflows. We're working on evolving those we have it very centralized with one individual at the moment, and we're working to get to best practice. And as we grow, we need to evolve that and be really thoughtful about, how we want to use approval workflows to kind of guide some of that creativity. But it doesn't feel burdensome to them. So we've been able to do it in a way that doesn't feel like it's impeding the process for the reps or our CS team. And part of that is just because our deal desk is so good at knowing, how to structure things in a way that won't trigger approvals. I think the flexibility of the solution and being able to meet our needs, this is not part of the solution. It's part of the solution in that we have an amazing customer success person in Michael, and he's actually just an extension of our team. And he wants to partner with us. He dives in. He helps us understand best practice. He really is kind of in the weeds with us. He just spent 3 days with a few members of our team in Dallas working through how we're going to implement subscription management. He's really been a critical aspect. So it's not just the platform functionality that has been so great, but it's the support and the service that we get. The number of deals that we can get through and the way in which we can communicate on those deals to get things moving more quickly and to be able to respond to, hey, I got to get an order form and what are we doing and how does the pricing look and all of those things. The efficiency is both in the solution that we've chosen and again the deal desk team that are the experts in that solution, and the ability for our team to be able to understand the platform really easily and access the support that we need to make changes as quickly as we can to improve any process things to make things even more productive. It's literally, I would say there's something happening in DealHub, some sort of improvement that we're making in the process on a weekly to monthly basis. So it's very cool. Our pricing model is very complex. I'm not going to lie. And the ability to be able to take a very complex pricing model and enable it with a CPQ, that is incredibly valuable to us. And obviously accuracy is king. The worst thing you can do is send out an order form that isn't accurate and then have to pull it back. Or just live with it. But between DealHub and another tool that we use for our kind of contract lifecycle management with our legal team, the combination of those two things and working together has made a huge impact in just our ability to make the customer experience. Because at the end of the day, that's really what we're trying to do, is to make it a seamless experience for the customers as much as possible. It very much presents a much more simplified pricing model than what is sitting behind it. And to be honest with you, it's really leading us down a path of, hey, we need to actually simplify the way that we're pricing and how we package things to different segments. And we're kind of at that point in our life cycle. So I'm really excited to be able to use DealHub for when we get to that point to make it even more simplified. And not just from the external perspective, but from the kind of how we actually do it in the CPQ. We started with new logo, right? It was like That's where we started automating, and then we moved into expansion, and then renewal came after that. Was kind of the way that we did it. We have some unique things with something we call contractually agreed expansion. It's a very unique Camunda thing, but there's kind of a set of requirements around it that we've had to adjust and make it work for us. But DealHub is helping with that aspect. But I think it's just subscription management. It's like Courtney was really smart in the way that she rolled it out because she took it into like, we're going to do it this, and then we're going to go here, and then we're going to go here. And she was very kind of methodical in the roadmap that she plotted out and then implemented. So we started with sales and then moved into customer success. And now we need this finishing piece for the subscription management so that we can really be clear about where we're reporting our ARR from, multi-year deals, and having that be much easier to manage. But it's thinking through things like, what does the renewal app represent, and all of those good questions. But a lot of guidance and support from Michael has been helpful. It's an integral part of our end-to-end process, right? I mean, if you think about the whole customer lifecycle, we're using DealHub to close them as a new customer, and then to support them as they grow or contract, hopefully not contract, but to grow. And then as they continue to renew with us. I mean, it touches every part of that cycle. And so it's deeply woven into everything that we do from a process standpoint. And the platform is kind of everywhere that you go throughout that life cycle. So it's pretty integral. I mean, we'll continue to take advantage of the solution, and as you release new features and functionality, we'll be right there with you. Because one of the things that we just internally, we are intentional about not trying to customize things for us, but to configure so that we can take advantage of those new releases and functionality. And as we grow and scale, then the more people we have in the platform, the more intensely we start to potentially use the deal rooms, because I don't think we're fully leveraging that to its fullest extent right now. And now once we get the subscription management piece implemented, it's a cornerstone of everything that we do in the back end. So, and the data that we get out of it obviously is hugely valuable. I don't know that I've ever been with a technology company before that had someone as invested in what we're doing and really pushing us to get aligned to best practice, and really saying, he's been in our ear the whole time. You got to put subscription management in. You got to, and the team, he has showed up incredibly well for us. The support is, like I said, it's just been unmatched. For him to get on a plane and fly and spend 3 days in a room with our tech resource and our head of our deal desk, I've never seen that before, to be honest. And to really be in the weeds and understanding how we're doing it and guiding us on the build out and how we're thinking about things. And I can't tell you the number of times I've been like, well, what does Michael say? What's best practice? I want to know what his point of view is. And he goes and he asks, he'll talk to other customers or other CS folks and understand, how other people are solving the issue. So that is incredibly valuable. I mean, the partnership, like I said, I think I'm going to say the exact same thing I just said about Michael, which is I've never had as invested of a partnership from a vendor before as what we have with DealHub. And that just speaks volumes about how I assume your company operates, right? You really care about. I just watched Daphne talk about the customer value. Like, how are you measuring the value that a customer is getting out of your solution? I think somehow you all have figured that out, and how to measure that and how to really play into that so that you can build these partnerships. And the stronger the partnership, the stickier it is. And the solution's great on its own, but then you add in all the support and service and the partnership, and it becomes something that's invaluable to us. So.